The following podcast does have an explicit tag, and boy, have we earned the right to use it.
One, two, three into the four. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door.
You're listening to Not Another Atheist Podcast, the Ramble Without a Cause podcast that breaks down issues in the secular humanist community and tries each week to push the limits of the explicit tag. I'm the polite Canadian Keith, and joining me as always is the New York bound and
bitchy,
born and bound bundle of sass and attitude, Jen. Thank you for joining me, Jen.
Whatever, I wasn't doing anything else. So.
No, but Jen
Shop
apparently is taking me on a tour of her house.
Yeah, I put the cat in the bedroom because he likes to run out the door. So I stepped out to smoke, and I didn't want to fight him at the door because I got into a fight with a cicada tonight. So, for those of you who do not know, I am fucking petrified of cicadas. And this thing was like
noted.
This thing was like screaming and bouncing everywhere, and like I cut my foot trying to run in the house.
Good. Is it one of those weird years where they all come out of hibernation?
Yeah, and they all love to sit at my
all
door.
At once?
Yeah, like all at once.
Yeah, well, shit.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I know that there's the 13 and 17-year ones, and every so many generations.
And whatever.
Yeah, and every so often it's just they all come alive at once.
I went to take the trash out, and one flew in the house, and I wouldn't go. It went into the bedroom, so I shut the bedroom. I kicked everyone out of the bedroom. I threw a cat in there. I shut the bedroom door, and I wouldn't let the cat come out until it escaped.
Oh.
Like nobody was sleeping.
Well, it's okay. While you were busy dealing with smokes and cats and more giant cats, I was busy dealing with plumbing that apparently was designed by somebody who doesn't understand what plumbing is. So that's fun.
Speaking of cleaning someone's pipes out, we have an announcement here at Not Another Atheist Podcast. Our lovely co-host Keith got engaged recently.
Okay, that was like the weirdest segue I think I've ever heard. And not once have I ever tied cleaning pipes in any of the actually, I'm going to clean your pipes because they need to be cleaned, or that, baby, I'm going to clean your pipes. I've never heard those tied to the whole idea of marriage.
We must congratulate Keith and his wonderful, beautiful soon-to-be bride, Ashley, who are finally giving me a reason to come to Canada.
Finally? You've got all the reason. We don't have Trump, and we've got cheap weed. I mean, according to Chris's Tanner and Hannah, our whiskey is nothing to talk about, but, fuck those guys, right?
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I don't drink anyway, so I don't give a shit about whiskey.
I mean, apparently we're just going to start a podcast war with them. We'll know when they listen to this because they'll say something to us about it.
I don't care.
Hannah's deranged. Hannah's deranged, man. I don't know if you've actually seen some of the things he says. It's off the wall.
It's Hannah. It doesn't surprise me.
For the empathetic deaf kid, he comes up with some heinous methods of torture.
Oh, I know.
I'm pretty sure if he were put in charge of Abu Ghraib, we would have seen a whole different subset of pictures.
He really needs to hit up the Game of Thrones writers because I think they would employ a lot of his techniques quite well.
Oh, good lord.
My cat is trying to get his nails done.
What's wrong with your cat?
He's trying to get his nails done. He keeps putting his paw in your shit.
Oh, that's super cute. Mine is behind me. She's curled up. She brought a toy. She's happy in here.
Well, you see mine.
I do. That's actually kind of majestic.
He's a majestic motherfucker, man.
Cats.
For those of you who do not know, we call Sam the Winterfell cat because he is huge and woolly and white and gray, like Winterfell in Game of Thrones. And I mean fucking huge. He's got to be like 23 pounds, huh? 20, maybe 25. How big is yours?
Fantastic. Boo?
How much is Boo weigh?
I think she's only like 12, 13 pounds. Oh, she's a tiny little thing.
Teeny baby.
Well, it's hilarious because you look at her when she's just kind of laying there, and right now her fur is growing back. We haven't had a chance to get her back into the groomers
Yeah,
again.
I know, you guys.
But
I gotta do that.
Yeah, we're
lazy.
lazy.
Just make life so much easier.
But when she's all like furry and, as we like to call her, floofy, she looks huge. And then you shave it all off and you go, oh my god, there's this tiny little adorable former furball. Cats with
And I need
haircuts
to
are
give
hilarious.
a shout out to a mutual friend of ours for reminding you that you have to record tonight. Mr. Keaton.
Whoops. Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Mr. Legendary Beard Man.
No, he's ZZ Top. He's borderline Amish.
Who I have, like, the most massive crush on. I can't do anything about it because we live in different countries. Oh god, my mother's listening to this. Fuck. I just realized that. Yeah, all the shit that I say, and then I'm like, I talk about somebody I have a crush on, and then I'm like, wow, my mom's listening.
I know.
And Keaton totally knows about my beard crush on him. He totally knows about my beard crush.
You know, I gotta think, he's got such a huge beard that I honestly would think if he showed up in an Amish community, they would make him king.
They might make him king.
Yeah, they'd be like, you have the biggest beard. You are King Amish. I don't know how that works. I don't know what perks there are. Oh, maybe
you get the
like
big
that...
churner in the kitchen.
Oh, he gets the girl who churns the best butter.
He gets the big cow.
Get it? Because it's like big hand jobs.
He gets the big cow and the most profit from the fireplace sales. You gotta admit though, those like the Amish furniture, that's some fucking good quality shit.
Well, yeah, it's because they don't have outlets there. They could just go buy a replacement piece of furniture. They actually have to go in. They have to kill the tree. They have to like chop it down, and then they gotta like cut it up. And they don't have they don't have saws like we do.
That's
they don't
how
have
they
grinders.
make money here. A lot of the time is they make furniture and sell it to the public. And I mean, the furniture is fucking. The quality's insane. It's beautiful. It's
Probably
expensive.
for a grotesque markup.
It's expensive, but you can't beat that kind of craftsmanship, though.
Oh, right. You meant in the sense that you can't actually, top that. I mean, yeah, you can totally beat their craftsmen. I mean, come on. They're Amish. They don't watch MMA. They don't know what that is.
I can't with you. I fucking can't with you. I really can't with you anymore. I'm done.
Yeah, I can't with me either. That was bad. I think I
that
need
was
to drink
really
more.
bad.
Hang on.
Yeah, you really need to drink some more. I'm sitting here
Okay,
cutting
before
tiny
I really...
little pieces of fiberglass.
The fuck is that for?
It's a fiberglass wrap. You put it on your nails to strengthen them while you're growing them out. So like you put tips on and then you put this on to make sure that the tips stay on. And it's breathable, so it lets your natural nail grow out underneath it without a lot of damage. But it's fucking painstakingly slow to do.
Fascinating. So, not much for news for this episode. It's probably going to be a bit of a shorter episode.
How much more
guys,
can we really fucking talk about Trump and Clinton? I mean, really, how much? Like, I'm at the point they come on the news.
Clinton or Trump.
Oh, like they come up on the news and I just turn it off at this point. I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. Although, go ahead, do your story because I have a funny one about Rudy Giuliani. But
Oh, you go right ahead because I'm enjoying this.
Rudy Giuliani, what are you enjoying? What are you doing?
Prepping our news story.
Ah, okay. Rudy Giuliani, who was the mayor of New York City during 9/11, came out today. Hold on, give me a second to pull up the actual quote. I'm just measuring this piece of fiberglass here. Measure, good to go.
Yeah, it's not like she's got priorities or anything.
Fuck you, my nails gotta be pretty, asshole.
You have 2 years.
What?
You have 2 years.
Oh, they're gonna be done then, too. Okay. Rudy Giuliani, 9/11. God, I need to fucking factory restore my phone. This thing's running slow as fucking balls right now.
The joys of editing. The people won't have to sit through all these.
Rudy Giuliani claims there were no terror attacks on U.S. soil before Obama took office. Now, this is the man.
Sorry, my brain just blanked.
This is the man who was mayor of New York City during 9/11, who was downtown and ran from the falling towers and hid in a building during 9/11. Which was, I can't remember what year Obama took office now. Count back 8 years, people. But George Bush was in office at that point.
Oh my god, he actually fucking said this.
Yeah, he said it.
I am in shock and awe.
That there were no terrorist attacks on U.S. soil before Obama. The mayor of New York City on 9/11.
Oh, apparently he claimed that there had not been any successful radical Islamic terrorist attacks
Yes,
in the United
yes,
States.
okay. Sorry, I paraphrased. Excuse the fuck out of me.
So
but
what the fuck was Al Qaeda? What was the Taliban?
A test run?
They sure as shit weren't Hindu.
A test run? Then again, this is coming from the man that literally married his first cousin, so, I mean, yeah.
Gross. No, I'm reading this from CNN,
that.
but yeah, holy shit. Oh,
He
no,
literally
I did
married
not.
his. I think his first wife was his first cousin or something. Like he went real deal Italian on that shit. Yep.
Oh, hang on, I have the video sitting right here. This just popped up.
Yes, sir. But yes, we have not seen radical Islamic terror attacks on U.S. soil before Obama.
What's so fucked up about that, though? These people are so committed to their dogmatic hatred of anything non-GOP
that they will literally rewrite history.
Stupid. They will just completely be stupid.
Now, mind you, this is the man that was seen during 9/11 escaping the falling towers and running downtown. Like, this wasn't like he was sitting in his office. He was actually physically, like, standing there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely weird.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And the fucking social media is having a fucking field day. Field day with him right now.
Oh, I don't fucking doubt it. That's insane. Absolutely fucking insane.
Mm-hmm. This is why I'm seriously considering Calgary over New York City.
Do it up.
Really?
Okay.
You guys like really open? You would really welcome me with open arms like that? Like really? That is so awesome. That is so fucking.
Hell yeah.
Boss. That's some boss shit.
So currently trending on Twitter, or at least it was a while ago, is the hashtag Make America Brannigan. For those of you not in the know,
like
there was
me.
a genius out on the internet who actually took Donald Trump quotes and used them as captions on pictures of Zap Brannigan. Zap Brannigan, of course, was the character from Futurama.
Right.
He, sorry, I'm really working hard to try to stall here so I can do this properly, but I am failing miserably because I'm not that good at multitasking. Alright, so it's Captain Zap Brannigan.
And I'm more concerned about my nails and Keith stalling.
Right? So he is the egotistical military officer for the Democratic Order of Planets and the Government of Earth. Basically, he's the most narcissistic and incompetent depiction of a military leader, which, you know,
right.
Probably not too.
He's pretty much Donald Trump in cartoon form.
Well, and that's what makes it so perfect. Well, fast forward a couple of days, and Billy West, the guy who voiced Zap Brannigan, as well as many, many other characters,
right.
He's been on a lot. Yeah, he did. He also voiced Fry. He did Farnsworth, Zoidberg. You know, the good guys. What he did was he actually recorded himself doing some of these quotes. Absolutely hilarious. Twitter handle is @TheBillyWest, all one word. I will have it linked because, oh my god, everybody needs to hear this.
I've got to check this out.
Oh, you really do. Some of these they're just some of the most brilliant things I've ever heard. And he does, of course, being, the voice of Zap Brannigan, it's perfect, but
because that's how you're reading them, yeah.
Well, the funny thing is like I found the captions like a week ago, like all superimposed on Brannigan, and I'm sitting there and as I'm reading these in Brannigan's voice, I'm going, oh my god, these are like perfect for Brannigan. They are so narcissistic.
So let's read some. Keith is like, he's totally reading right now, and he's like totally spaced out. It was like, that was awesome.
I'm actually not reading.
Keith temporarily left planet Earth,
like, oh,
ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith temporarily left planet Earth.
I haven't even smoked anything today.
That's wild.
No, I pulled up his Twitter page and all of a sudden one started playing and I'm sitting there going,
Keith seriously
left
the planet. Keith was on Venus for about 3.5 seconds.
You leave Venus out of this, all right. And that's why I don't watch a lot of TV anymore, is because I think I can do voices.
Thank me, the operative word here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, if you start doing voices at your wedding, I will beat the shit out of you in the middle of your reception. I will fucking beat your ass. I will get up and start beating you with a champagne bottle.
Note to self, I'm not having champagne at my wedding.
You better have an open bar. If you do not have an open bar...
I can't have an open bar. I have alcoholics in my family, and I know what they're like.
All the more reason. Damn it, we need stories for Reddit.
I know who's gonna be at my. I have a good idea who's gonna be at my wedding. There will be plenty of stories.
Yay! I haven't been to a dysfunctional family wedding in like years. I can't wait.
Great.
Keaton has informed us that he is going to build his own stone mill when he takes over as king of the Amish.
Motherfucker. Excellent.
And now for something completely different.
So, like I said, we really didn't have a lot for news tonight, but what we do have now is we have gone back to one of our favorite blog websites. Biblical gender roles.
You're reading this while I have sharp objects in my hands. You realize this, right?
There are worse things in life. Yeah, so the reason I was bored and online, and I decided to check it out. Check out the website, see what type of crazy they were talking about today. And the most recent article is from about 3 days ago.
Oh, it's fresh.
Is called, it's called, Do Christian Wives Have to Submit to Bondage and Sadomasochism Requests from Their Husbands? Oh, that's why I picked this one.
Peach egg. I'm already liking this.
So, it starts off, it's got just a picture of like some general knots up against skin, whatever. It says, are BDSM and Christianity compatible?
I am inclined to default to no on that one, but okay.
Well, if anybody's seen the crucifixion, we know that Christianity loves pain. But anyways.
You know what they're about. Well, no, it's Catholics. The more you suffer, the faster you get into heaven. If that's the case with my kink, then shit. I should be there in about 0.3 seconds.
Fantastic. So, they introduce it with a question, and they preface the question with a section from a letter that the guy received, who apparently calls herself Olivia. It starts off regarding his 7 ways to discipline your wife, which was an article that I was hoping to use, but
fucking Dave.
To all our listeners named Dave, fuck you. So, the question is the refusal to participate in BDSM activities as a form of sexual foreplay the same as sexually denying one's spouse? So they talk about what BDSM is, and they cite the great resource known as Wikipedia.
Well, I'm sure they didn't go into like the full scale of what BDSM is, and if anyone is curious, I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you have.
Well, the definition for bondage that they have, allegedly, they got this from Wikipedia, where it says, bondage is the practice of consensually tying, binding, or restraining a partner for erotic, aesthetic, and or somatosensory stimulation. Rope, cuffs, bondage, tape, self-adhering bandage, or other restraints may be used for this purpose.
Self-adhering bandage is a son of a bitch.
I've never used those.
Yikes. Never again.
Maybe we should have had Jeremy come in for this. I think he's kind of an expert on this shit.
Really? I did not know that.
I don't know. I think he is. I'm pretty sure he's into some wildly kinky
I thought
stuff
I was the expert on BDSM and masochism and shit like that. I thought that was my job.
Well, I mean, you do this podcast with me, so you're already an expert in masochism.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Oh! Anyways. So, the article continues saying, bondage itself does not necessarily imply sadomasochism.
Right.
Bondage may be used as an end into itself, as in the case of rope bondage and breast bondage.
Right.
May be used as a part of sex or in conjunction with other activities. Yeah. Common reason for the active partner to... Sorry, I'm really just trying to summarize what they're writing here. A common reason for the active partner to tie up their partner is so both may gain pleasure from the restrained partner's submission and the feeling of the temporary transfer of control and power.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so I guess
that's actually a very thought out
Wikipedia
explanation. I kind of like that.
Well, we can thank Wikipedia for this because let's face it, Wikipedia is
whoever
at least
wrote
vetted
that
by
for
people
Wikipedia
who know what the fuck they're talking
that was
about.
Fantastic. Yeah, really.
Wikipedia, you the real MVP. So, their summary of what BDSM is. When one person consensually allows themselves to be tied up and possibly punished by another person, and may even endure physical pain either for their own pleasure or for someone else's pleasure. BDSM may or may not be used as foreplay for sex. So then he gives us Olivia's dilemma here. His summary really, nothing too crazy about that, I don't think.
No. I mean, that's a pretty worn down. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. So apparently,
BDSM is not always sex.
No, it's
Right.
not. Sometimes it is for the aesthetic, which they said, which is great.
Right. It's not that word
Kudos for-
aesthetic. I've never heard the term aesthetic be used for it. I'm still kind of stuck on that.
Yeah, I remember years ago when I went to the sex show in Calgary.
You guys have like a whole sex expo?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Why am
It's
I
called
not
Taboo.
living in fucking Calgary?
Yeah,
Damn it.
It's all across Canada. It's just an expo where you get a bunch of different, merchants together. They sell toys, outfits. There are seminars. I don't know if you know who Dr. Jess is.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the last few times I've been there, she's run like workshops on oral sex and
God
anal
damn it.
and yeah, oh yeah. Well, anyways, they always have what's called the dungeon, which is they make no bones about it. This is where they do the BDSM. And I was the seventh wheel with 3 couples. Well, the girls went their way, and we guys ended up going a different way. Because I guess the girls were buying stuff for their men, tee-hee-hee, and all that, and they didn't want the guys to feel intimidated by vibrators. And so
How many
the
times
guys
have
and
I come across that?
Right?
Seriously, it's like,
They-
it's not to question your manhood. This is just an extra. I'm not saying that your dick's not enough. This is just an added bonus.
Guys, if you look at porn and you get upset that your girlfriend has a vibrator, you need to rethink your life choices.
Seriously, I never understood this. It's like, I've seen guys get totally fucking crazy about vibrators and dildos and anything not the 1970s white, you know what I'm talking about, itty bitty tiny beginner dildo. And even a virgin can use it, it would be fine. But it's like,
Okay.
how insecure are you in your relationship and who you are as a person? It's like, look, this is a piece of rubber, silicone, whatever, glass, whatever it's made out of. That's an inanimate object. You are an entire person attached to your penis. Why are you this fucking insecure?
Yeah. But anyways, so we're at the dungeon of the show, and we walk by, and there's a girl she's tied down, and one of the guys there, he's flogging her. And like, there was no sex, obviously.
Right.
They can't publicly display sex acts. I mean, they can gyrate, they can be topless, whatever, at the
Right.
show, because it's adults only. Anyways, the girl, after all is said and done, her ass is bright red with all these lines across it, and after they untie her and everything, she gets up and she looks like she's actually had a couple of good orgasms, and she looks at the guy and she goes, "Oh, thank you." And the guys I'm with are like, what the fuck?" And I'm sitting there going, "Huh, cool."
Oh, okay, awesome.
So, yeah, so I was the youngest of the group, and I was the only one comfortable around the idea of BDSM. It was hysterical.
Well, it's come with the whole 50 Shades thing. And, I mean, that's when I've noticed that weird phase between us where it's like they're not old enough to be our parents, but they're not as young as we are, part of our generation. So where they're in that weird, still old school, but they kind of want to embrace the new age deals. 50 Shades,
yeah.
you know that weird little demographic,
Yeah.
that everyone's pandering for votes from.
They try, and God bless their hearts, they
They
really
really try, and they try to understand it, but they're still kind of like really old school about it. Sorry, that's tape. I'm doing my toenails. But like when 50 Shades of Grey came out, like every one of these women wanted the shit kicked out of them, and I was like, I mean, granted, 50 Shades of Grey is the absolute worst example of what a dom sub relationship is, because that wasn't a dom sub relationship, that was stalking and manipulation. But the fact that it opened up a generation of what would normally be vanilla housewives up to kind of expand their horizons sexually, like that, I have to applaud.
But yeah, no, you're right. So, anyways, I guess we got a little off the beaten path here. So let's get back to BGR. So according to Olivia, um,
Olivia.
her husband
Sorry, every time I hear that
is-
name, that's exactly what I think. Olivia, like every time.
Olivia, darling. Anyways, so apparently, according to her husband says that her unwillingness to submit to his
Kink.
desire for BDSM is sexual denial, and she's not fulfilling her Christian duty for not doing that for him.
Very
Yeah.
gray area. I like this.
Which it is tough, and it is part of the reason why I say that, you know, sex is a lot more important than people are willing to give it stock. I mean, if one partner is completely sexually unsatisfied in a relationship, then there's not going to be a lot of happiness, and that's why I think waiting for marriage for sex is bad.
I think that, and I hate to say this, but I think that's the reason for a lot of divorces. Is, you know, you kind of, you know, when you first get with somebody, we all know the sex is like, holy crap, and you do all sorts of weird, kinky shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because it's new and it's fun to experiment with. But then you've been kind of
like the first time I asked Ashley to shove a tennis racket up my ass, she was like, "What are you doing?"
And now she's like, "Hey, let's get the tennis racket."
Like gummy
you know?
bears? And now she's like, "All right, well, here are the Mickey Mouse ears and the hungry hippos. Let's get this shit going."
I bought more lube, like, you know, like, and they figure out things that worked for them in the beginning of the relationship they loved, and it kind of became mundane. And I know, at least with me, when the sex starts to fall off and I'm no longer sexually compatible with somebody, I start to resent them. And then it's like, for the relationship, you know?
But people get this hang up that, well, you shouldn't end a relationship just because sex. Well, I'm sorry, sex is very much a part of our lives. I mean, both people need to come to the middle and be able to say, all right, well, this is what I want, this is what you want. Well, how can we best, you know, make up for the differences between?
Exactly. Like, and you gotta respect your partner, and you have to be willing to experiment within your own boundaries as well.
Precisely.
That's why I want to tell Olivia, hey, honey, put a blindfold on and let him shove something up your ass. You never know, you might like it.
Well, according to her, she's tried it a few times to see if she could, and she hates it.
Okay.
Which, again, it's not a thing that's for everybody.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. That's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna go through every minutia of the letter because that's not the whole article.
But to me, this is something that should have been discussed before marriage. And BDSM is not sex. You don't have to have sex to engage in BDSM. So this is something that, to me, they could have experimented with before marriage, because they technically wouldn't be violating the sacred act of fornication. You know what I mean?
For us, it's technically, but for them, it's skirting the edge, which is close enough, and to them, that's already committing the sin.
Oh, God.
You know, the whole, he who has already coveted his neighbor's, or he who has lusted after another woman has already committed adultery and all that shit. So it's really black or white. It's either you did or you didn't, and if you kind of did, well, you fucking did. There's no gray area with this, and that's why I strongly disagree with the whole idea of waiting for marriage for sex.
Right, so do I.
Unless both parties understand why, and both parties can be open and honest and say, look, this is what I'll be looking for, blah blah blah. But even then, once you start having sex, you never know. One person might enjoy being peed on. The other person might be into autoerotic asphyxiation, and if you're not willing to come together,
I learned that I was into BDSM. Right, I learned I was into it a few years after I started becoming sexually active. So I wasn't aware
bingo,
that this is something I would have liked until I was exposed to it by an ex who did it in the most loving and gentle and paced out and understanding way. I had a very positive experience my first time, and
that's how it's supposed to go.
I know, it was. I was like so spoiled, and I am a bedroom only. I don't let it bleed into regular life. But he was like, you know, he showed me what he had, and he explained to me that he really cared for me, and this is something that he's into, and he wanted to know if I had tried it. I said no. I was curious about it, and I'm like, you're being so understanding about this that sure, I'll try it. Come to find out, fucking loved it. Like, I had a really good introduction and experience into the lifestyle. Warm fuzzy feelings, warm fuzzies.
even if you don't, and you know, you come to find out it's not really your thing, at least having that positive experience.
Right, exactly.
So,
and he wouldn't have been
his
upset if I was like, look, this isn't what I'm into. Is there something else that we can work with? You know what I mean?
yeah, and that's just the understanding nature of the dominant,
right,
the true dominant.
And
persona,
when the bedroom door closed, there went the dom sub relationship. It was very even, and that's something that we had discussed at length before anything happened. Like what level of comfort I would be with him, what level of comfort would make him happy, blah 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 blah, whatever.
If only more people could be so fucking mature. I know. So the blogger responds, first off saying requests for BDSM can't come from, or doesn't always come from husbands. Sometimes it's from the wife.
Right. Because women can be into it too.
He uses some anecdote about how he knew of a Christian man whose wife left for another man because this husband refused to practice BDSM as foreplay. I guess the wife wanted to be, quote, tied up and gagged with a ball in her mouth, end quote, and she wanted to, I guess, act out fantasies involving rape with him. Now, 3 of the 4 fantasies in that I can deal with. The last one...
What was the last one? You kind of broke up.
That might be where I would... she wanted to act out rape fantasies with him.
Yeah, I mean, if that's your thing, that's cool. I'm not one for rape fantasies.
No, and I mean, there are some who, gets their
right. I'm not going to judge your kink.
As long as you're safe.
I'm not going to judge your kink as long as it's, consenting adults and it's completely consensual and it's, it's type of shit. But there's no animals involved. There's no children. No actual rape going on. Shit like that. But it's just rape fantasies just are not my thing.
And that's what the safe word's for. But I digress. So the question has been asked, how should a Christian husband or wife respond to requests for BDSM from their spouse? So, of course, being biblical gender roles, they look to the Bible to determine that Christians should not seek pleasure through bondage and pain. Quotes, what is this? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, quotes 3 Bible verses discussing the ills of pain and how bad bondage is, and that's really just him doing a stupid fucking word game. But no Christian ought to take pleasure from being bound or binding someone else. No Christian ought to... typo. Ought to take pleasure from causing themselves pain or causing pain to others. I call bullshit because I have seen the hatred that they spew and masturbate.
Yeah, but I kind of have you ever seen those like hardcore Latin sects where they like whip themselves as punishment?
Only in, what the hell was that god awful Dan Brown movie? Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, okay, well, you know what I'm talking. But like this is something that went on like during the Viking era. This is what like Christians were really fucking hardcore about it like that. And I'm sitting here like, you're supposed to do this as a repentance type of deal. You're not supposed to enjoy it, but you can't fucking tell me that sitting there voluntarily whipping yourself for Christ doesn't involve some fucking kink to it.
Yeah, well,
I want to know how many of those men beat the fuck out of themselves with a whip and then went and instantly fucked their wives before they went to bed. So if you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, it's repentant, you're not supposed to get joy out of it, bullshit, because a human body will physically stop itself from inflicting too much pain. Mm-hmm. You don't like that shit, you're not going to keep going. Or you're not going to do it hard enough to really be repentant about it.
Oops, tee. No, it is just another form of masturbation, really. Mm.
Yeah.
But, anyways.
Religious and prayer masturbation, but masturbation.
No, you know how it goes. So, apparently, Christians need to embrace liberty and healing, rather than seeking enjoyment through bondage and pain. So they should seek freedom and healing for both those and those around them. They quote more Bible verses.
Only whip yourself for the Lord, not for your husband, ladies and gentlemen.
But what if somebody is screaming, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God? I'll have what she's having.
Oh God. Oh God.
So
Sounds like a good
there's
night
some-
I haven't had in a long time.
So kink enthusiasts, there's some good news. When the blogger talks about Christians not submitting themselves to bondage for sexual pleasure, not talking about they say that they're not talking about a wife playfully taking some clothes and tying her own hands around the bedpost or using fluffy handcuffs that she can easily get out of. No, those are playful things, and he provides links.
It's still bondage. What the fuck?
Oh, but there's a warning about how the images on Wikipedia regarding BDSM are graphic, so that's fun.
How graphic can Wikipedia really, right?
Kind of graphic. Maybe it's PG 13, 14A type stuff, but
Ooh, thrilling.
yeah.
I'm so beating off to this later.
So, this is an interesting twist. So, he says, I am not sure if this may be the case with Olivia, but if your spouse refuses to have sex with you unless you engage in BDSM foreplay, then it is they who are in fact sexually denying you. Whoa! But so, and he
Mind
says,
fucking
if this is the
blown.
case, he says if this is the case and you're the husband, follow his 8 steps to confront his wife's sexual refusal. And I didn't know this was an article. This is going to be interesting. Apparently, he wrote another article called 4 Steps to Confronting Your Husband's Sexual Refusal. I'm gonna have to give that a read later.
Oh, we are doing that the next show.
Yeah, no kidding. Apparently, that's gonna be in episode 33. So apparently the recommendations are to get counseling for people who have BDSM fetishes. Go seek out a biblical Christian counselor who can help overcome
Who will
these
tell you to
sinful
only whip
desires.
yourself in repentance for the Lord.
Yeah, even if you're whipping yourself during sex, saying, "Oh God, please forgive me, please forgive me."
And I mean, can you
Maybe
get
that's
off
the
on a
loophole.
technicality for that?
Have you not ever dealt with religion before? They live on technicalities.
We can actually do this on a technicality. Just say you're whipping yourself for the Lord, when in fact it's really BDSM. Screaming, "Oh God," during sex. I mean, I guess that could work.
Yeah, it's all in all, it says that you're not supposed to punish your wives because they won't engage in such a perverse activity. Oh, what the hell? I'm seeing something about oral sex here.
Ooh, that was a big jump.
I know. Oh, yeah. So apparently, Christian husbands should not punish their wives for not doing certain things like wear lingerie, act in sexy ways, or perform oral sex. So that's nice. That's that at least women don't have to do those things.
Well, it's
but
considered
only
sodomy
because
to
they
give
can
oral
be...
sex.
Bingo. So what may have seemed nice is not. Yay! Well, what if they use an oral dam?
Still oral. Still the act of sodomy. It does not.
Yeah, I guess if you can't use a condom for sex.
It's sexual pleasure without procreation. Therefore, it is sinful.
Well, hot damn. So apparently, Christians just don't like BDSM because it's not done for the Lord. It's done for pleasure, and we all know if it feels good, stop.
Yes,
that's the mysterious 11th commandment that everybody forgets.
So is that if it feels good, stop because the Lord says no?
In all honesty, there was a comedian years ago who just said, "I'm Catholic." Basically, the Catholic religion, it says if it feels good, stop. So that's kind of where I've had that mentality.
Now I remember why I left Catholicism.
Yeah, well, that and the fact that the snacks kind of suck.
They're a little bland. But you get wine on Sunday morning.
None of the masses I've been to.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I could have probably lied and said, no, I totes have been baptized, Hail Mary, and all that.
No, it's not
shit.
baptized. You have to make confirmation in order to receive the thing.
The Eucharist?
Yeah, that thing.
I go to church. What's up? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been in a long time, and I'm okay with that.
I just had to look at you like...
Like, what an asshole.
No, what a fucking liar.
Actually, oh yeah, I guess I went yesterday, technically. I'll have to draft up a report to that.
You need to go and try. And I want you to bring that black bath bomb with you and tell him you want to be baptized.
I think I would have a engagement ring shoved down my throat so far that it actually just went right through my entire digestive
Now,
tract.
wait, are you guys
Tried
you guys planning on being married in the church?
That's what she wants.
I don't think you can without receiving the sacrament.
Actually, yes, because she was baptized. We can.
What about you?
We've, so I guess the way it works is that, because she was baptized, she can be married in the church, and because I wasn't, there won't be any sacraments. There won't be a mass.
Oh, okay, I'm totally down for this then. Awesome.
Jen, I'm happy to help.
Thank you. Because if I have to sit through a fucking wedding mass, I'm gonna beat the shit out of somebody.
Oh, I went to one a few years ago. It was a combination of Filipino as well as Ukrainian Orthodox. Plus, they did the math. Math? They did the math. They did the maths.
Maths.
Yeah, they did the maths. They added and subtracted and multiplied and divided. And... No, they did both, and it was like 2 hours long.
No.
I was like, no, thank you. Like, don't get me wrong. I offered to be baptized for her just to, give her the wedding she wants, but she said no because it wouldn't be genuine, and I respect that.
You know what? Thank you, Ashley. I'm going on the record now. Thank you, Ashley.
We respect the shit out of that.
Thank you. I fucking love her. I fucking love the fuck out of her, man.
Yeah, so does everybody else. It's good to know I'm replaceable.
You are. You absolutely are.
We are, and
remember that when you're feeling fucking ballsy.
I think on that sad and dreary note, we're probably going to wrap this up. It was a nice short show, because, been fucking busy, and had to get something going, because,
we got back to school season here, so...
Yeah, back to school. So, if you listen to this, we want to thank you for
toughing it out with us.
45 minutes of your time. You wasted a good chunk of your day just on us, and we appreciate that. We had an amazing show.
Yes.
Did you like that? Did you like the way I made fun of Christopher Tanner there?
We had an amazing show.
We had an amazing show with amazing segments and an amazing chat. I mean, we got nothing but love for you, Mr. Tanner. Don't mind us. God, I rather gotta quit drinking.
Really?
Apparently. All right.
You get too sweet. Oh God, please don't drink at your weddings, and you're gonna be all sweet and bushy, and then I'm gonna literally have to puke on your cake.
Rude.
Seriously, if you get all, oh my God, I love everybody. Oh my God, she made me. I'm gonna come up to your little fucking table. I'm gonna puke right up. You better not have that fucking table either, where it's just the bridal party. Like, look how fucking important we are. No.
What? No head table?
The way I always liked it instead of a head table, because I always felt like, say you have a groomsman but his wife is not in your wedding party, and it's kind of rude to me to make them sit apart. Do have like a bunch of round tables for like the regular guest, and then your table, the head table, is like one long table in the middle where they can like sit with their.
So everybody can see us.
But like you're in the middle of everything, but like your wedding party can sit with their spouses, and it's a little more informal than a head table.
Sounds like we have things to discuss.
Let me hook up with Ashley. We'll bang out this wedding.
Jesus
we'll make
Christ.
It a shed wedding.
On that note, I want to thank everybody for bearing with us and listening to us. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
The Not Another Atheist podcast experience is run by Jen and Keith. If you wish to contact the hosts, please write to nehehp@gmail.com. They can be found at facebook.com/NotAnotherAtheistPodcast, or search Not Another Atheist Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play to subscribe and leave reviews.
Sam.
That's a cat's ass that I just got to see. Cats are assholes. We didn't start this war, they did. Oh, man. I am gonna have a lot of editing to do at this point.
You're like, wait, what? He said, wait, what?
I don't know, I'll watch it later. Anyways, baby, I'm gonna clean your pipes.
I'm so beating off to this.
Hang-
And I just messed up my toenails, so I'm not doing this right now. 'Cause I don't have patience. I'm picking up my panties and I'm going home. Okay.
Warning, the following podcast does have an explicit tag, and we would hate to disappoint it.
One, two, three into the four. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the...
You're listening to Not Another Atheist Podcast, the Ramble Without a Cause podcast that breaks down issues in the secular humanist community and tries each week to push the limits of the explicit tag. I'm the polite Canadian Keith, and joining me as always is the New York bound and bound bundle of sass attitude, Jen.
Tired bundle of sass. I'm very tired today.
Aw, well, thank you for setting aside the time to join me.
Oh, what else? Of course I would for my degenerate band of listeners.
You hear that, listeners? You are our degenerate
I
band.
love him. And well, Keith's family, so I kind of can't escape him, so yeah.
So we have a very big announcement today. This is one that I've been just
Oh, boy.
dying to talk about. You have no idea. And no, Jen, this is not what you think it is. I'm saving that for news. No,
Okay.
dear listeners, our degenerate band. Apparently, we own a fucking Toyota.
Wait, say that again, you broke up.
Damn it. We have a Toyota. We actually own a Camry. That's right. Not Another Atheist Podcast, Camry. So,
You do?
yeah, apparently,
Dibs.
yeah,
Oh my
we keep-
god, all these fucking emails that we've been getting, right? About the fucking Toyota.
Yeah, it's from Durham, North Carolina. Apparently, our name is Harikrishna, and we.
You know what a Harikrishna is, right?
That's some religious person.
It's like a Harikrishna. Yeah, that's why I fucking laughed when I saw it.
Yeah, we keep getting these emails, and yeah, it's somebody just must have put us in us down as their the owners or as the contact email for their account with Toyota, apparently, because we keep getting asked how our new Camry is, and
Yeah.
I didn't know I had a Camry, so apparently all those.
We've been getting them forever, and I just didn't know if you had seen the email.
Oh yeah,
Like I was leaving them there for you.
I've yeah, they've been coming in since like the beginning of July. It looks like.
Yeah, they've like forever.
Yeah, apparently, it looks like July 4th. Mark Jacobson, Toyota Scion, would like to thank us for choosing a new Camry. So, I kind of want to email them back and say, hey, we know we've got like this great big podcast thing going on, but we didn't.
I was
buy
actually
a
gonna
car.
call them, but I didn't know what you wanted to do about it. So
I just think it's funnier than hell.
the fact that it's Harikrishna was what was really fucking hysterical about it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they realized that that's probably somebody goofing them, but at the same time, it says we bought a Camry, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for it to show up in the mail. And when it doesn't, I will write them a very.
I'm gonna wait
scathing
for it to
letter.
be delivered.
Yeah, with a bow on top. You hear that, Mark
Mm.
Jacobson Toyota? We want our fucking Camry.
My preferred color is green.
Ew, what's wrong with you?
Just saying. My preferred color is green.
Why?
That's the color I want my bow. I just like green. I mean, it's just my favorite.
You and my sister.
It's just my favorite. I just like green.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
What?
We can now create a Toyota owner's account.
Oh God.
Should I do it?
Are we doing this? Is this gonna be our next thing?
I know. I'm like, am I gonna get like nailed for fraud or something
I don't think we would.
if I do this? I don't know, because like this could have like a person's like credit information and address and shit on it. I mean, seriously, the name I'm looking at it now is Harikrishna.
Yep.
Hari
Hari Krishna. Well, what's even weirder is that it's all one word.
Yeah. So like, and the Harikrishnas are a religious thing.
Yeah.
Unless somebody really named their fucking kid Harikrishna.
In which case, parents of the fucking year, or parents who are really just that big of assholes and want to see their kid get beat up almost every single day.
Like, I really want to know who the fuck. It's hilarious. I'm looking at an email now that says Harikrishna, let's go places, and it's a Camry talking. And I'm like,
Oh.
we're getting good coupons though, like 15% off any installed Toyota accessory.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic, especially since I drive a Ford.
Here it is. This email was sent to Harikrishna at our email address.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Jen's getting fucking D-Tech right now. I'm Googling. Jen's going PI, ladies and gentlemen. Who the fuck is Harikrishna? Where's my fucking Camry, bitch?
Oh, let's see. There's one. Okay, I can't find any on Facebook that live in anywhere near North Carolina. There's one in Toronto. There's another in Toronto.
I don't know. There's one in Charlotte and there's one in Morrisville. I need to figure out which city is closest to this dealership.
Well, I think while Jen does her whole...
Wait, is this a doctor? Oh, no, that's Illinois, sorry.
The dermatologist? I saw that and I went, oh, please tell me.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this their address on City Data?
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I have the the actual number, but now I have the street that he lives on.
There is something wrong with you.
It's the tax assessment.
So, Jen, the question I have to ask is, why are you not a paparazzo? Because apparently you are good at that.
You know, and, like, I'm good at this shit. Like, normal people. But celebrities, man. If that was the case, I'd be married to fucking Harry Styles, Kit Harington, or Alexander Ludwig.
Enough.
I know, they're all so fucking young, too.
We're gonna move on to news now. In Shitty Friend news tonight, Jen is the reason why some of my friends and coworkers will never again look at my phone or even accept messages from me. It may be surprising to learn that I do have friends. It may be more surprising to learn that the new chapter in my book, How to Lose Friends and Ruin Food, involves none other than the critically acclaimed McChicken sandwich. Some of you may have been caught up in the hashtag McChicken trend on Twitter, and for those of you who love those little bundles of mayo and artery clogging goodness but aren't privy to the why of this trend, I strongly urge you to just listen to us and not, I repeat,
and do not Google it.
Do not look it up for yourself. We will tell you all about it.
Just don't.
Spoiler alert, big black cock.
Oh my god, speaking of big black cock videos, have you seen the new trending dentist anesthesia video?
No.
This girl's coming out of dental surgery and she's in a wheelchair. She's totally fucked up from the pain meds and the anesthesia. And her mother's trying to get her in the car. And she goes to stick her fingers in her mouth and her mother goes, what are you doing? She goes, I'm choking on big black dick. BBC, my big black cock. And I'm like, oh, and she's like this valley white girl.
Good God. Great. So...
This is the second time I've heard big black cock today.
Great. So yeah, so this actually is as bad as you think it might be because it does involve the insertion of
a guy, yeah.
It involves the insertion of special sauce, and by special sauce, I mean the guy is literally fucking a McChicken sandwich.
He put his dick between, and you know what fascinated me about it?
Is that he's half hard, or he's mostly hard?
No, was that he actually kept the entire sandwich intact.
Yeah, actually,
that was like because like. It was the actual McChicken sandwich, like, all put together, and you know how they put the mayo on the bottom bun?
Oh, yeah.
He slid his dick between the beef patty and the bottom bun.
Patty.
And I'm like, the chicken patty, yeah. But it's like, he didn't even take the top one off. Like...
I know, I was actually kind of amazed at how he...
What's the need for extra bread?
Like,
You know, and this, exactly, like, you would expect, like, the sandwich to become, like, pulverized and, like, breading come flying off, and it shockingly stayed pretty much intact.
So, it can honestly be said that, ladies, this man is clearly a tender and gentle lover.
Yes, but my thing is now, okay, say you've got some fucked up kid that works at McDonald's, right, and decides to fuck a McChicken, and because the sandwich held together so well, how do we know he's not going to fuck a McChicken and then put it back in the wrapper? And who would be the wiser?
Not Another Atheist podcast no longer endorses the McChicken sandwich.
We do not endorse fucking them either.
Oh, do whatever you gotta do. Like, no king shame.
Here's another thing I don't fucking get. You can pretty much make, like, an at-home fleshlight for, like, $1, right?
Please, if you're quick enough with your hands, you could do it for free.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could do it for free, but, like...
Not that I endorse it.
But, like, a plastic sandwich bag, maybe some lotion, or I'm not exactly sure what you put in it, but it's not that expensive.
Vaseline,
so why would you go...
KY.
And how much does Vaseline cost? Like 50 cents a tub?
Yeah, I think you get like a metric ton of it for about 32 cents after inflation.
Yeah, for like, exactly, for about 17.5 cents. So you buy a box of sandwich bags, and that's, I mean, depending on how cheap you want to go, this can go anywhere from like $2.50 to like $4, right? So we're looking at about $5.
Okay.
And there's numerous sandwich bags and numerous plastic bags in a container, and you get a shit ton of Vaseline, right?
Right.
Say we're going the cheap way, not the expensive $4 bottles of Nivea or shit like that. Why would you spend like $4 and change on a McChicken sandwich every time you wanted to beat off on one when you can literally make 100 fleshlights for the same price?
It's one of those things. I think it's going to confuse scientists of our species for just a lifetime.
I mean, that's just basic economics. I mean, you know, we're a country in recession here. We have a bad thing going on here with our economy. I mean, it's just basic economics.
Okay, before we continue with this story, I do have one thing, because you may have noticed that my words suddenly got clipped, and sometimes that happens when suddenly my headphones are just blasted with some stupid fucking advertisement. Enough with the automatic advertisements that blast the fucking noise. Anyways, back to your regularly
What
scheduled
advertisement
program.
are you on? I'm not getting any ads.
No, it's me. It's I've got a couple of our news stories up and ready to go, and one of them keeps automatically playing the stupid fucking video.
Yeah, okay.
And
I
it's never
gotcha,
playing the
I
video,
gotcha.
it's
I didn't
playing
know you
an
had 'em.
advertisement. It's stupid.
Gotcha, okay.
So anyways, back to the whole McChicken fucker.
But, like, I mean, this is just basic economics. Why are you going to spend literally $5? Now, if you're a young man...
Oh, this
with
is like
a
one of those rich kid
spry
douchebags.
spirit. Yeah, like, if you're like, you know, if you're a young man with a very spry drive and high spirit, this could literally run you like $15-20 a day.
God damn it. Masturbation just got really fucking expensive. Actually,
Right? It should not be this expensive to beat off.
Okay, here's the thing. Have you heard about the male masturbation tool? It's called the Fifi.
No.
Okay.
I don't have a penis, so I don't.
Yeah,
know
but
these
you're weird, so you might have heard of this. So Fifi,
Yeah, I kind of don't pay attention to the dick self-pleasuring aspect. That's just like a waste of time for me.
So Urban Dictionary defines the Fifi as prevalent within death row inmates, a hands-free masturbation device made up of a dirty old sock, Vaseline or toothpaste if not available, a toilet paper tube if available, wedged firmly between a mattress. Of course.
Oh yeah, this I have. I've never heard it called a Fifi.
Yeah.
I've heard it be called a prison girlfriend, but I know. Yeah, okay. I know
Yeah,
what
prison
this is.
girlfriend. Anyways,
okay.
there's a company called Get Fifi, and it's actually a sex toy for men. It's a combination of pocket pussy with it comes with like disposable little bags. It markets itself as discreet design, no mess cleanup, and feels great.
Right. So, and then instead of, you know, you get the disposable bags, right? And you know that shit, it's like a fucking diaper genie. That shit's gonna fucking rack up the money, and then they fucking upcharge those bags like you wouldn't fucking believe. It's like the diaper genie hack. Instead of buying the diaper genie refills, you could just do it with like a box of garbage bags, which is gonna run you cheaper. I'm sure you could find like saran, like plastic wrap or fucking sandwich bags or some shit to do the same thing.
Well, just because I'm curious, I'm on their website, and hilariously enough, they have
What's the website? I'm looking it up.
getfifi.com. It's they have an as seen in section. So it lists off 5 websites. We have Your Tango. I don't know who that is. Hustler, the porn magazine. Ranker.
I know what Your Tango is. Okay.
No idea who Ranker is. Ask Men, again, don't know who that is. And this is my personal favorite.
You don't know Ask Men?
No, I don't. My personal favorite, The Chive. You know, that frat boy antic head up its own ass website that for years stole content.
I never understood what The Chive was about.
Okay, I'm gonna do my little rant on The Chive here, and then I think we're gonna have
I've
to
like
consider...
never even looked at it. Like I just never got it.
See, here's the thing. The Chive, for me, is useful for an in case you missed it bit on the internet, because they post shit a day late. Why? Again, they love to hijack other people's content, only nowadays they actually give credit to the other sites instead of just putting their logo on it and saying, as seen on The Chive.
Yeah.
Which has been a great business model for them, because now they're wildly successful and they can brag about how shitty they've been and how that got them success. But anyways, I digress. It's great because I can catch up on the memes, and yeah, sure, they post a lot of, like, you know, they have their hump day, which, you know, it's a lot of users submitted pictures of women's asses or, you know, things like that. Some of them are actually their viewers, and, you know, don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm all for it.
And that's their choice, and that's cool, whatever.
I just think it's them exploiting the fact that people want to get attention, but that's just, you know, me. And so much of it is boiled around their their whole love of drinking and how that's the greatest thing to do with your life. And another thing they did that annoyed me is they came to Calgary a few months ago, and we have a monument called the Calgary Tower. It has this little light show going up it. It just kind of fades through different colors. Well, they took a picture of it when it was
cool.
They took a picture of it when it was at green, and they're like, "Oh, look, Calgary's excited for us, and they're celebrating our presence." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, nobody knew you were here, you dickheads." Shit. Like, I get it. They think it's fun, and yeah, I get it. But at the same time, it just, if you're a thinking person, this shit's gonna drive you over the wall. But yeah, so back to the Fifi. So I'm just kind of looking at their prices. They have them in black, red, gray, blue.
They're about $25. Camo. I saw camo.
Camo, and apparently there's a furphy, which is made of faux fur. But yeah, this is just kind of like a little, I don't know, a really thick piece of tubing that you can stick your dick in.
Right. Apparently you can adjust the tightness too. It's like a wraparound. You can adjust the tightness.
Excellent. But yeah, so Jen, as you were saying, there's sleeves. You can get 10 for $9.95 American, 20 for $17.95 American, or 50 for $39.80 American.
And it's a club. It's a subscription club. Like you set it at like how many days, and they just send out more.
Yeah. So basically, the average 15-year-old, it's 50 of those every 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Which adds up.
Where's life gone? I mean, we truly live in the greatest of times.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
We can have our sex toys sent to us automatically. It's almost like somebody else knows our masturbation schedule. It's beautiful.
And then you can go on like free video chat sites. Like, oh my God, do you remember Omegle?
Of course I do. How could I forget?
And then Chat Roulette. Remember those? You can
Dude, I saw so many dicks.
I never did the Omegle Chat Roulette thing, but
what's wrong with you?
You can randomly find someone to have like mutual masturbation, like video online sex with while you're. I mean, like there's not even a need for a person anymore.
Yeah, and now they have websites dedicated to that because on Chat Roulette you're supposed to keep it in your pants unless the other person wants it.
Right, but it's like we don't even need people anymore.
Apparently not. We're getting close to not even needing people for procreation.
No.
Okay.
And that kind of scares me.
So, now we're going to move on to some depressing fucking news, but fortunately, it does not involve food. What we're going to talk about now is the Leslie Jones issue. Oh. So, just a brief timeline, just to kind of make sure we've got a little bit of background set up for this. Back in the middle of July, after Ghostbusters was released, Jones began. Oh, for those of you who don't know, Leslie Jones was in the female protagonist version of Ghostbusters that was recently released.
Ghostbusters, right?
No, I haven't seen it. No, I have no opinions on it. Don't ask.
I haven't seen it, so I wasn't a fan of the first Ghostbusters. Like I wasn't really a big fan of it, so there's really no reason for me to see the second one. Come on.
Fair enough. So anyways, she began receiving racist and misogynistic comments on Twitter, and after she received enough of them, she basically began to retweet them as a way of exposing her online attackers. And she then issued a statement about how the tweets affected her, and she openly admitted she used to wonder why some celebrities didn't use Twitter, and she goes, "Now I know. You can't be nice and communicate with the fans because people crazy." And
yeah, because bitches be crazy.
Because you can't rely on human beings to be decent to other human beings. So as it goes on, a spokesperson for Twitter addressed it, saying, this type of abusive behavior is not permitted, and we've taken action on many of the accounts reported to us by Leslie and others. Well, it got worse because that Milo Yiannopoulos, I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I'm not going to dignify him enough to do that. I'm just not going to give him a
find out, yeah.
He, from the sounds of things, I swear to fuck, I'm done with this goddamn website. I keep getting, no, stop it, stupid. Stop it. Yeah, so that was fun. I'm glad I can edit that shit out.
No, let's leave that in. I think that's a nice little what the fuck for all of listeners.
Yeah, they can sit there and go, what the fuck is going on? So I guess Milo directed his fans to attack her on Twitter. And then he ended up getting suspended by Twitter. That's its own other issue that other podcasters have discussed and probably done far better than I ever could hope to.
Right. Yeah, and we're not going to beat that fucking horse into the ground, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's had enough attention. Yeah. So basically, Twitter on that said, people should be able to express diverse opinions and beliefs on Twitter, but no one deserves to be subjected to targeted abuse online, and our rules prohibit inciting or engaging in target abuse or harassment of others. Good on Twitter for at least sticking to that.
At least sticking up, yeah, for somebody's rights,
Yeah. So she took a couple of days off Twitter, and then she came back, and she was going to live tweet the Game of Thrones. She did a bunch of live tweeting over the Olympics, etc., etc. It sounded like... So for after about a month, it seemed like things were, pretty well blown over, as they often do, because people found other things to get all bent out of fucking shape over. Joan's website was...
There's always something new.
Hacked, and private photos of her were released, as well as personal information, including license and passport, and photos of her personal information were all released online. Yes, this involves nude pictures. This involves sexual videos. This is revenge porn, people. We've talked about this in the past. This is sexual assault. Yeah, she is not consenting...
Right.
To sharing these moments with anybody other than the people involved. I have pictures of my girlfriend or my fiance and I when she's doing disgusting things to me that, you guys don't need to hear the details of.
During your intimate moments,
We've made videos that are for us to look at, on our own later, kind of, because, kinky.
Right.
I would be absolutely fucking livid if somebody took the pictures of her.
Ready to fucking kill somebody type of shit.
More or less, took some of those pictures off of my phone without hers and my combined permission.
Right.
I honestly am so baffled by the mentality that says this is okay. This is the best way to deal with somebody.
And it's now to the point that women, because men really aren't targeted.
Well, no.
I haven't seen any point where any male celebrities are really targeted on these kinds of scopes. And, it's like women who, kind of want to keep things a little spicy in their sex life and everything. Now what do they have to do? They take this picture, they have to send it really quick, they have to make sure nothing on their phone is backed up on a cloud. Then they have to find some way to send it to another secure device to lock this down. And it's like, when it comes down to celebrities and people in the public eye, the cloud is really a lifesaver. Because, your contacts are there, your schedules are there, you know what I mean? So,
you can have it all conveniently synchronized for you.
Right, and this way, if your phone does crash, you don't miss an audition, you don't miss a contact, you don't, it's still all there for you. But now people don't want to back up anything because clouds are getting hacked, and people are just like, well, ha ha ha, here's fucking naked pictures of somebody's body that, one, I didn't have permission to even view, and two, I have no permission to fucking distribute.
Yeah.
Because, people are shit.
Oh, dude, people are shit. I'm just... so I guess the FBI has now opened an investigation to search for the hackers. And apparently they're developing a strategy for tracking down the people or individual who hacked into her cloud and cell phone and posted them on her website. Because they weren't just posted online. They were actually posted on her website. They hacked her website. On her website.
They hacked her website, yeah.
I just don't understand... Why is this even a necessary thing? What do you think you're going to gain out of it? You really think that someone who's made it quite clear that she won't be silenced is going to stop from this?
It's this final word, ha ha ha, look at me.
It's a final way of trying to defeat someone. It is getting somebody at their most vulnerable.
And somebody that literally has absolutely no fucking bearing on anything in your life. Nothing.
Somebody who has no bearing and has actually done nothing wrong.
One, hasn't done anything wrong. Two, this person has literally no fucking bearing on any part of your fucking life. And if it wasn't for some random fucking online encounter, you might not even know who the fuck this woman is. Or she wouldn't even know who the fuck this guy is.
So, people fucking suck. I just don't understand.
I can't with this shit anymore. It's like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to think that you can hack into somebody's private account and somebody's private shit and just distribute it at your own fucking will?
I wish I knew. I really wish I knew. But I don't.
I've already beaten this fucking horse to death on another fucking
talking about Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, with the fappening, which I was like, really, you fucking do all this and you can't even come up with a more fucking creative name for this shit other than the fappening? Come the fuck on
this is some evil villain shit you're trying to pull off, and you're
this is like
miserably.
high scale hacking. I mean, you broke into fucking Apple's cloud server. I mean, this is major shit. And you call it the fucking.
Well, I guess it wasn't the people who released it from the cloud who called it that. It was just kind of the internet. But still, guys, like, come on. Modern day
this
fucking
was like,
Bond
if I remember, it was like 3 days to a week of just releases, and like nobody was safe.
Nope.
And this is why, like, I kind of do want to go back full scale into the entertainment industry, but I'm like, do I want to?
Do you want to put yourself at a risk like that?
Yeah, do it, because I know how I am. I can't just be this like behind the scenes executive. I'm gonna be at the parties. I'm gonna be that's just who I am. I have a tendency to inadvertently make myself very high profile. I just have this fucking tendency to do it, and then I'm like, is this what's gonna happen? And then is this what my son's gonna know his mother for? Is she got caught up in the fappening? I mean, think about this. Jennifer Lawrence does not have children right now, but maybe one day she will. Maybe she will. And that's her thing and whatever she wants to do. But there were other celebrities that do have children, and their kids are going to grow up one day, and then like they want to Google their parents and see what their parents did, and maybe when the parent, and then it's like
next thing they know, they see where they came from.
Exactly, and then it's like and then your mother was caught up in the fappening scandal, and it's not that they should be ashamed of their parents' bodies, but it's kind of mortifying to think that, like, all of your friends can pull out your mom and beat off to her.
Well,
at a given point in time.
I think I think the kids of porn stars can probably say something similar.
Yeah, but it's different because it's like these kids kind of grow up with the my parents chose to do this to realize
Fair.
that your mother was victimized, and then she's going to continue to be victimized and
for the rest of her life,
probably going to be
because nothing dies on the internet.
Your friends are going to kind of be victimizing your mother.
Yeah. So we're going to move on from that to another fucking delightful story. For those of you who don't know,
can we go back to McChicken? At least that was fucking funny.
No, I'm not gonna do the. I'm not gonna make the sound, because that's just weird. Yeah. So, I'm gonna make a sports news tonight. Colin Kaepernick.
This is the one sports conversation that I can actually participate in.
I think this is probably gonna be the most in-depth sports conversation we'll ever have.
Yeah. Right.
Until hockey season starts.
No, fuck hockey. I still don't follow that bullshit.
Okay, so Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick? How do you say his name?
Not sure.
Okay, we're gonna say Kaepernick. The quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers recently stirred up trouble the other day when he decided he was not gonna sing the national anthem. In fact, I don't even think he stood up. Yeah, he refused to stand for the plane.
He refused to stand up, right.
Yeah, and when he explained why, he only spoke about the president. He says, "I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. There are bodies in the street and people getting paid leave and getting away with murder." Which, of course, means that Twitter went nuts.
Which, of course, means every fucking outlet of social media went fucking nuts.
Because how dare a good old football player not stand for the national fucking anthem, because we
and be
all
proud of what
this
country gave
America.
him. Because be proud of what this country gave him.
So he refused to stand for. He exercised his First Amendment right to make a statement based on his political beliefs.
Right.
But according to an asshole from Fox News, he's an idiot because federal law doesn't discriminate against black people, and there are rich black people, and there's a black president, which means racism is dead.
And, in fact, it protects black people because we have hate crime legislation.
Oh, so it's really hating on white people now. I hope you can see the look of sarcasm on my face.
Here we go. Majority oppression, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, majority oppression.
Yeah, it's white genocide. Hello.
This is right along the same thing of Southern logic.
No, Southern logic involves porking your sister.
But the gays can't marry because it's immoral.
Duh.
Yeah, the gays
Yeah.
can't marry because that's immoral. But, you know, I've heard, and I was extremely vocal about this on Facebook, and I stirred up quite a lot of shit, as Keith can testify to.
Honestly, I have not eaten that much popcorn in a while.
I mean, I got blocked by someone I knew for 15 years over this. But it's, you know, the one thing that kind of tipped me off about it was there was a meme of a soldier who I'm guessing lost his legs in combat, and this wasn't like below the knee, this was like mid-thigh range.
Ugh.
And he was standing on his wheelchair for the national anthem. And it was like, you know, Colin Kaepernick can't stand for it, but this guy can. And I was like, wait a minute. So you're coming from the, you know, support the troops fighting for our freedom bullshit, right? Okay. So you mean to tell me that this man exercising the right that soldiers of the past died to give him is un-American? And then using a soldier
here for a second.
and then use a soldier to drive the point across. I was like, what? I was like, that was one of those what moments. And then
stupid people.
Stupid
people everywhere.
This is something else I don't understand. And I don't, this is regardless of where on the scope of how you view systematic racism and the oppression of the black community. It doesn't fucking matter which side you fall on with this. But how is it that a man that is literally just sitting for a national anthem, he just sat down. He didn't rile up cops. He didn't shoot people. He didn't loot. He didn't riot. He didn't do any of this. He just sat down. He just remained seated. I hate to say this. I don't hate to say this because this is a perfect example. He literally did exactly what Rosa Parks did. He just remained seated.
Well, yeah, but they actually had oppression back then. You know, it doesn't exist now.
Oh, that's right. The typical, well, we don't own you now. We don't own you anymore. What do you mean you want to drink out of the same fountains argument? Yeah, we don't own you anymore, so what do you mean you want to, drink out of our fountains? Anyway, how are you going to sit here and say that this man is a shit American for exercising? And yeah, I get the right to free speech is not... It's not meant to be the media, blah, 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 blah. It's to protect you from speaking out against your government and not being jailed or killed or prosecuted for it. I get that's what, free speech is for, whatever. But how can you say that this man is a shit American for exercising his right to a quiet, nonviolent protest of his choosing, but then support ranchers who took over a federal building and shot at cops?
Because one, the latter one, they was white. For two, they had guns. They were using guns, yeah. And for three, apparently the American identity is as fragile as the male ego when it comes to the things it is tied to. It is the utmost in toughness, the most rugged, manly thing that they can think of. And if you dare not adhere to their strict definition for what it means to be a patriot, then you are in no means a patriot because you are not patrioting right.
I was told that I don't understand the government takeover of the lands out in the West and something about nettle weeds and farming and shit. And you know what? No, I don't know about that clearly. But it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter the fact that these men stormed a federal building, took it over, hashtagged for snacks. Let's not forget send snacks, please.
Cock.
And then shot at cops. Wasted thousands of fucking dollars in government resources. Because these were federal cops that had to come onto this land because it was federal land. Wasted thousands of fucking dollars in government resources. Shot at cops. And then they were upset when one was killed. Like, that's okay to do. That is okay to do because, I don't know, nettles and
because
guns
and
shit. I don't fucking know.
Because patriots.
I don't fucking know. It was something, somebody was trying to tell me it was along the lines of, it costs them thousands of dollars a year what the government is doing, and it's hindering their farm operation, and if they keep doing it, there's not going to be food to fight over. Like, it went into this total fucking spiral. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? If the government is coming in to take over their farmland, guess what the government's doing on that fucking land? Farming. Like, so what the fuck are you talking about a food shortage? Secondly, this
shows their bias.
This young man literally just sat down. He just sat down. He didn't say anything. He didn't even make a statement or a speech to, quote unquote, rile people up. He didn't tell people to go and attack anybody. He didn't tell people to take to the streets. He just fucking sat down. He sat down because he did not agree with what his country is doing to a group of people.
To its citizens.
To a group of its citizens, correct. Yet the ranchers that went and took over the federal building did this because they did not agree with what the government was doing to land-owning citizens of its country. So why is it that it's okay to take up fucking arms, storm federal buildings, and shoot at fucking cops when you don't agree with how your government is treating its citizens, but it's not okay for a black man who, mind you, was raised by white fucking parents, so fuck you.
So yeah, racism's dead. That means racism's dead.
Oh,
Clearly.
That means racism's dead because, he was raised by white fucking parents. So, what the fuck's he got to think about because, he grew up in privilege. Anyway. When a young black man literally just sits down, keeps his fucking mouth shut, sits down, doesn't call for people to come and join his cause like these ranchers fucking did, doesn't tell people to come bring guns or,
snacks,
fucking Twinkies to the situation.
Dildos, cock.
Yeah, he's not asking for trail mix, he just sat down. Why is it that what he did was wrong, but what these ranchers did was right?
You want an actual answer for that? Because I can give you one in less than 5 words.
Because
he was black.
White is right. White is right. What is it? The best thing I ever heard was one of the best things I ever heard was what Chris Rock said. When you're white, the sky's the limit. When you're black, the limit's the sky. In this country. And because it's white, it must be right. And then
Hallelujah,
I had somebody attack me that, it was about the farming and the nettles and the weeds and farmers are getting kicked off their land, so that's going to cause a food shortage, and then attacked me for not knowing anything about that. Meanwhile, this motherfucker is the same one telling me that fucking white privilege doesn't exist, and that I shouldn't sit there and be an armchair politician on shit that I don't know. And then turned around and said, when the food isn't in the supermarket, he can hunt and he can feed his family, can I? And I'm like, wait, you're going to sit here and talk about who's being an armchair politician? Because his brother and sister are half black and he doesn't see them go through what he goes through, and they live in Wyoming. And I'm like, you ever think that your brother and sister maybe just don't tell you because of your reaction to how blacks aren't being oppressed and, there's a black man in office, so racism is dead?
Yeah, I like how there's a black man in office. That means racism must be dead. There's no more white privilege.
Yeah, and there's hate crime legislation in the Constitution, so black people are protected. And I'm like, black people are protected from other citizens with hate crime legislations. They are not protected by their government.
Yeah, that just shows a severe ignorance.
But I want to know why storming a federal building because they were angry about how landowning citizens of this country are being treated is any different than a man sitting down at a basketball game and not standing for the national anthem for the same fucking thing.
Jen, I've already answered this. It's a redundant question. It's because he's black.
It's not for you. It's not for you.
I don't care. I answered it.
It's not for you.
He's black. He's being charged with being black in America.
And oh yeah. And then I love I stand for his right to do whatever he wants, but.
Yeah, I love that phrase. I stand for your right to do something, but because I disagree with it, I'm going to use that same right to tell you that you're an asshole.
That you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit American. And what gets me is, what this country, he's going to sit here and piss all over it. I think it was something like an $11 million contract this kid got. And let me tell you something. It's not like this kid turned around and just said, I want to play football, give me $11 million, and they did.
No, he had to bust his ass.
Yeah, we've got 45, 50-year-old former football players that are literally blowing shotguns into their chest because the repeated concussions have turned their brains to shit. And they don't want to take their lives by putting a gun to their head because they want medical professionals to be able to study their brains.
I didn't know that was a thing.
He's been doing this, yeah. He's been doing this to himself. He's been beating the shit out of his body since he was a fucking child. Just to have a fucking chance at this. And I'm sorry, what this country gave him, the only thing they gave him was the public school system that may have had a football program, which in turn they wind up cutting. Because all sports programs are getting cut now. Anyway.
Wait, what? America's cutting sports programs?
They've been. Sports and music. They've been.
Why would they cut sports? I've seen how much they love to masturbate about their sports.
It's where, the budget cuts hit. It's sports and, like, music programs, artistic programs and shit. They favor that. They favor those less over academics at this point. Anyway,
what?
This kid went to a college that he had to pay for. Granted, it was probably with government money that he now has to pay back fucking tenfold. But anyway, he went to a private college that he paid for to have a scout from a private team come and scout him, to be hired by a private team in a private organization that is paying him private money that the government is actually taxing and taking from him while he's got to pay back those student loans. So fucking tell me what opportunity they fucking gave him. This country has given him.
The one thing that I read in that god-awful fucking attack on him...
of that fucking website that you fucking sent me, that piece of shit.
Yeah. I had to. We needed content. We couldn't just talk about it. I mean, everybody's seen it on the news. Now we needed something else to fucking talk about on the subject.
No, I think you just wanted to piss me off, which is why I sent you McChicken.
You sent me the McDick. The McDicking. And... No, is it in this article, the guy says, he goes off saying, well, why hasn't he done this before? Why is he just waiting to do it now? Just because somebody has not made a protest does not mean they value a cause any less.
And it's like, do you think Rosa Parks turned around the first day she took the bus and said, I'm not getting up?
Just because 10 years ago, I was a lot more right-leaning. I might have had issues with gay marriage. I can't remember. I can't remember my dealings with that one. I just remember how my family handled it. Right. My stance on global warming. Just because 10 years ago those were all different doesn't negate the arguments that I'm putting forth now. Just because I waited and just because I don't go head to head with my dad when he starts spouting off about global warming doesn't mean that I value it less. In my case, what I know, getting into a screaming match is not going to help. I know the best plan of attack is a carefully laid out question or explanation or minor debunking of some myth. That's all.
And I mean, they're like, oh, this is the first time. No, if you actually look at this guy's Twitter, he's been very outspoken about Black Lives Matter and about the way that Black people are treated in America. He's been. And I'm sorry, I just came across a tweet that is so fucking accurate. Colin Kaepernick, this country is racist. America, no it isn't, you ungrateful nigger.
How dare them uppity Negroes demand that they be treated like white people.
They already got one of their own in the fucking White House. Fuck more than they need. It's like it's the water fountain theory. We don't own you anymore. What do you mean you want to drink out of our water fountains?
What do you mean you want to be equal to us?
Women. Well, we gave you the right to vote. Why are you out of the kitchen? No, we gave you the right to vote. What do you mean you want equal pay now?
Yeah, you stupid broads. Sorry, I wanted to say something as inflammatory like the tweet or the summary of the tweet.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, we gave you the right to vote. Now you want equal pay?
Yeah, it's just part of the natural.
We put a black man in office. Now you want equal opportunities.
Yeah, now you want us to stop killing you indiscriminately and actually accept the fact that maybe, just maybe, part of this whole systematic racism thing is due to gentrification of neighborhoods that you want to live in, and the fact that we underfund all the schools in your neighborhood, so you can't actually get out of that neighborhood.
Right, and then we cut the food program, so you have to eat like shit, and you're constantly sick because you're not getting proper nutrition. Or we cut school funding, so there's less bus drivers, which means your kids get less sleep at night because they have to get up much earlier for school to get on a bus to pick up fucking 45 more fucking kids.
But they can sleep on the bus.
Yeah, they can sleep on the bus. But it's okay, we put a black man in office. What do you mean you want the same opportunity?
Yeah, I think it's about time we closed out on that one, because I think we've said all we need to say.
Like, I'm gonna be that. I actually saw this protest. This woman had to be in like her 80s, and she was holding up a sign that says, "I can't believe I'm still protesting this shit." That's gonna be me with my kid. I can't believe I'm still protesting this shit.
Yeah. So are we about ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yay!
And now for something completely different.
So, as promised last episode, we're going back to biblical gender roles. So, apparently, the article on dealing with a wife's sexual refusal, which we covered in a previous episode,
Was not the last.
Apparently, it was a hit. And the blogger behind this atrocious little website has received several requests for sister articles. So what has been put forth is not
Or you mean how to fuck her sister since your wife won't fuck you?
Yeah, that works somehow, some way. So apparently there's no 4 steps to dealing with your husband's sexual refusal, because women are a fuck ton more uppity. Yeah, so... I have to interject something before we kind of dive into this. This is kind of an opinion, but I'm wondering if it rings true at all. According to the ideology, men can't be gay. But if they are actually gay and they have to marry you, they're not going to want to have sex with you. I mean, they'll probably help you clean. They'll probably love all the same movies you do. They might even like to cuddle you, but they're not going to want to fuck you. Have I lost Jen?
Just keep going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
I want to hear this.
That was pretty much my whole little opinion piece on that one. So he goes on to clarify. He says, the article is about sexual denial from the husband, not a lack of sexual initiation. So he's
so this isn't nobody's initiating it and it just kind of fizzled out. This is, honey, I want to have sex. No, fuck you.
No, it's more about continuous refusal by the husband to have sex when the wife wants it.
Yeah, it's more of a, no, honey, I'm gonna go sit in the bathroom and beat off thinking of fucking Channing Tatum. Right? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Apparently there's another article we get to go through called 12 Reasons Your Husband May Not Want to Have Sex With You. I bet you that not one of them is he's secretly gay. But that's another story. So they're talking about, continuous sexual denial. He never wants to have sex, blah, 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 ever.
Right. He keeps turning you down every time. Right. Okay.
So,
now that we know what page we're on here.
Yeah,
alrighty.
I know, now that I've repeated myself about 3 times, I think we're all on the same page.
Fuck you. It's just been a fucking long day. Fuck you.
I was making a shot at myself, but alright. So, the first heading...
Exactly, so, yeah.
Your point still stands, though. So, the woman has the right to have sex with her husband, and the husband has a duty to have sex with his wife. So, sex is no longer fun,
I
it's a
kind
duty.
of like that. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, it's a duty, but... I kind of like that, that for once there's some
booty duty
shade being there's some shade being tossed on the penis right now. I'm kind of digging that, but continue because I'm sure I'm not going to like this for much longer.
So he opens this section up by saying, first and foremost, God gave women the right to initiate and have sex with their husband. He might want to work on his grammar a little bit, but then he goes into the King James version of Exodus 21:10-11. Where it says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these 3 unto her, then shall she go out free without money. So if he takes another wife, because, that's okay, but gay marriage isn't. So if he takes another wife, then the other original wife's food, raiment, whatever the fuck that word means, and her duty of marriage, I'm assuming they're talking about sex on that one.
I'm
and if,
assuming it's sex, or maybe providing children, which is sex, but okay.
so already this article is starting to fall in on itself because it's only using this argument saying that if he takes on another wife, so she can go free, but now when they say she go free without money, does that mean like she just gets to leave, or
Yeah,
she
she
doesn't
has
have
to
to buy
leave,
her
but
freedom?
I don't know.
Like, does she leave with nothing, or does she just
I
get to
really don't
leave
know
and
how
not
to
have to pay?
interpret that.
It's almost like it was intentionally vague so as to be open
Yeah,
to
that's
interpretation.
really intentionally vague. Because then a man could turn around and be like, "I don't owe you shit. Get the fuck out." And leave her
Yeah.
like out in the fucking street. You know.
Oh, holy shit! They actually address. How did I miss this? So they said this
You
passage.
missed it. Well, there we go. See, now we're gonna get the explanation, ladies and gentlemen, because Keith doesn't want to fucking read.
It's hard. So this passage, when taken into context, was talking about a man who decided to take another right, exercising his right to polygamy. Oh, yeah. So,
This argument again.
so apparently polygamy is allowed in the Bible, according to the Bible. Good job.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah. So, and then they go on. They ponder why women wouldn't want to talk about sexual denial from their husbands, because letting a woman write this article.
No, because they're giving them permission to go fuck another bitch.
Letting a woman write this article wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. But then
No,
again, maybe
of
there
course
aren't.
not.
Well, maybe Sandy Rios might want to write this article. But anyways.
Ugh.
Yeah. Topical. So there are two common reasons why Christian wives are embarrassed to bring a... Fuck's sakes, this person needs to learn how to write. Two common reasons why Christian wives won't or are embarrassed to bring up the subject. Fuck, I can't read this piece of shit writing. So the first reason, Christian women were raised by their parents or taught in the churches growing up that only dirty women want sex. Huh. Huh. There's like truth in that. Unfortunately, the church over its history has been complicit in this teaching, and as the church fathers quickly fell into error that sex was dirty and fleshly not long after the apostles died. Bullshit. Go to church today.
Bullshit.
And they prop sex up as this thing that should only be saved for marriage, and that to want it is forbidden. So the second reason that women feel embarrassed to bring up this subject would be a bad reflection on them, in that they might think, what husband would not want to have sex with his wife? Men always want sex, right? Which
naturally.
Which we already know kind of is
because
not true.
They're nothing but whole body raging boners all the time.
Speak for yourself. I have a boner right now.
I am a whole body raging boner all the time.
So the wife might go on to reason that perhaps my husband no longer finds me attractive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's something very difficult to deal with, especially like after you have children, and your body does change after you have children. And that's kind of hard to come it's kind of hard to come to terms with, and it's a very real fear that a lot of women have, that not even the world finding them attractive, but somebody that they love, that used to find them devastatingly attractive, doesn't anymore. That's really hard to kind of come to terms with.
And that's absolutely true, but that's an issue that I think a couple should be willing to deal with together. But
yeah, that's something a couple really has to sit and talk about.
Yeah. So they touch on the issue of appearance and hygiene, since it's important for both men and women. Yeah, please fucking shower. Nobody likes dick shoes.
I completely agree with that. Like, if you don't want to wash your ass and shit, I'm not. There is no kind of dick in this world. There is no kind of orgasm in this world that I cannot give myself that I would enjoy over not having a bladder infection.
That's true. Although there are weird people who are into dirty, sweaty people, but they're a whole section of kink.
Right. I mean, and that's not my area of kink. But like I said, I can sit there and I know my body, and I can manipulate myself to the best goddamn orgasm I can ever have. Why am I going to risk a bladder infection for it? Please wash your ass and your dick and your mouth and your balls and your pits, please. Thank you.
Oh yeah, nobody ever stops to think about that. People think I'm nuts for the amount of times I put deodorant on in a day, but I'm like, no.
I'm like, I can
Stench.
be just sitting at home, and if I even think I feel a fucking droplet of sweat under my arms, I'm like at the fucking deodorant. Like I cannot stand that wetness under my arms feeling. Anyway, sorry.
The fuck noise was that? So, yes, both
You need to
husband...
get out more and stop being around the cat so goddamn much.
Yeah, that's probably true. So yes, both a husband and a wife need to wash the damn ass. And they
Wash
need to,
the booty.
they need to keep their bodies clean and healthy and available for sexual relations on a regular basis.
People want the fresh groceries, not the stale, crusty shit, people.
Yeah, if you're gonna eat that booty like grocery, or if you want that booty eaten like groceries, you better make that produce right.
That
nice
shit
and
better
crisp.
look like the produce aisle, bitch.
Yeah, that better be the top stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yep.
so it also places the onus for a male's weight problems or erectile dysfunction on him, saying he needs to seek medical help so he can sexually please his wife. That's new.
Yeah, because it's not like she can go take the Viagra for him.
I wonder what that would be like.
Viagra for a chick?
No, I'm sorry. I'm doing a. I'm starting to fade now. It seems.
I was gonna say, I can tell you, it's actually, it's not a high, but it kind of does heighten some shit, but it doesn't get you high. Anyway.
Next time on Auto Night Theory Thieves podcast, Jen recounts the one time she popped a Viagra.
It was more than once, but yeah.
Who are you?
An absolute fucking deviant.
No shit. I cannot wait to hear this story.
Yeah, there's a couple of let's try doing it with Viagra nights, but yeah, to continue. Okay. To continue.
Oh god.
The horrified look on Keith's face, ladies and gentlemen, when I dropped that bomb, he was like, "What the fuck?"
I've got
crazy bitch.
coworkers who offer me, they say, you know, I've got an excess of Cialis if you ever need. I'm 27. I don't have any problems that way. The problem is that it still has yet to stop getting excited at the drop of a fucking hat. It's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me.
I mean, I can understand why guys who don't need it are really weary about it because of that whole 4-hour erection thing is kind of fucking terrifying.
Hey, if you've got a
But
4-hour
for
erection,
women-
you're doing something right.
For women who are healthy and, you know, don't have the obvious associated medical problems that are, you know, that they state, if you have these medical problems, don't take this medication. It's not that bad. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time anyway.
Yeah. So, it is important for a Christian wife to understand that sex with her husband is a right in marriage. And she overcomes her inhibition. She should overcome her inhibition to talk about the issue.
Fair enough.
I'm thinking I'm probably just going to skip this whole section that says before you can confront your husband's sexual refusal, you must know and accept your position, because it seems like it's just more gibberish. Oh, look, another section says before you take any steps, it's more gibberish. Oh, apparently they also try to blame his sexual refusal on many years of her sexual refusal. So the male simply stops pursing his wife sexually. It's pursuing, dumbass.
Pursuing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then one day the wife wakes up and realizes they have not had sex in months or even a year or more, and she pursues him, at which point he turns her down. Now, is the husband right to do this? Absolutely not. But the wife must realize her part in this and confess her sin of sexual refusal before she can confront her husband's sin of sexual refusal. So I'm curious where on the list of 7 deadly sins this lies. But step 1 is rebuke him privately. You know, you gotta.
Yeah, and this is bullshit. Whether you do it to a woman or whether you do that shit to a man.
But, and the wife's rebuke is going to be slightly different than her husband's, as talked about.
Oh, that's right, because she can't withhold a dishwasher from him because, you know, she's in the kitchen already.
Well, here's why. A husband can speak with authority to his wife as one under his authority.
That's right, right.
But a wife must remember her husband is her authority. So you as a wife can bring your grievance to your husband in a respectful manner. You can plead with him to change his sinful pattern.
And he could tell you you're a fucking frigid bitch.
But this assumes you have already on several occasions tried speaking gently to him about the issue. You have tried time and time again to find out if there's anything you can do to help him. Anything you can do different. This, of course, obviously assumes you've ruled out health problems and other mental problems, and
Right.
he
Yeah,
simply is a stubborn.
depression, impotence. Right.
Yeah, he's simply just stubborn about sex. So yeah, remember,
Right.
ladies, you're not allowed to be authoritative about this. You have to
No.
grieve him.
Be diminutive and meek.
Step 2. These are all very, very short steps, by the way, because it is just very, very short, very short steps for what a woman should do to, be able to get hers. Step 2, rebuke him before witnesses. I will read the entire sentence that comprises this section. If he is still defiant after rebuking him, privately ask him to go to a Christian marriage counselor, or maybe even a sex therapist if he is willing to go. So, not actually rebuking him before witnesses, but actually asking him to go to counseling. To address an issue within the relationship, like a healthy person should.
But I mean, that is something that I personally would recommend to couples who are having issues like this. I would say take it to counseling.
But you know why, Jen? Because that makes sense.
But rebuking him in front of other people does not include a medical professional to me.
No, it does not. This is just talking about trying to shame him in front of others because, why not?
This is the fight in the middle of, the family Thanksgiving. What is your dick broke anyway? Because it's not like you fucked me lately. So yeah, that's that one.
Do you want to pass the turkey? Why? Do you actually want to put yourself inside a moist hole these days?
Why? Because that's something you actually want to stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay, you won that round. I totally dropped the ball. Fuck me running.
Sorry, honey. I already stuffed the stuffing in. Yet again, you're way too late to the fucking stuffing party, asshole.
No, you can't use the baster and glaze it. I already did that.
On many occasions. Piece of shit. and that's what happens to these like totally put together wives. Is the husband goes to reach for the baster and she's like, I've got it. I could sit here and suck up juices and spit them out into the hole. Since you won't. And then they have like total fucking mental fucking breakdown because it's that one line, because you won't, and then that's when she starts throwing the dishes on the floor. And yeah.
Okay, I'm calling a timeout here. What the fuck has gone on at your family Thanksgivings?
They were repressed Catholics.
Holy shit.
Actually, no, I'm fucking lying. My family is extremely open in their grievances. I mean, that's they have absolutely no problem dragging out every fucking personal detail about sex lives, about marriage beds in front of the entire fucking family. That's like some doozers. That's
like a couple that's, so many years past when they should have broken up and they're still together and they're building up that hatred. And one day he looks at her and he says, "Hey honey, how do these pants look?" And she goes, "They look like I'm trapped in a loveless marriage."
Exactly. And it's and that's how you'd be surprised that's how a lot of marriages hit their boiling point, is this like tiny little thing like that. Where it's just it
doesn't even go 0 to no chill. It just goes 0 to go fuck yourself.
It goes, and that's what happens. Like one day the fucking bottom blows out, and then it's like, see. But in my family, like I said, we were always very upfront about our grievances, and we try to get it out as quickly as possible because we don't like the tension. So we will fucking sling shit, and I mean, at funerals, at christenings, at weddings, in front of the whole family. I've seen my family fist fight over shit at funerals. Like we handle our shit.
Okay, so we're going to time back in here. Step 3, bring him before the church. So if he's not going to listen to the counselors or go to counseling,
he has to listen to the priest.
Bring him to your pastor and his wife.
Meanwhile, that was probably the same fucking pastor or priest that was fucking him as a child, and that's why he has sexual compatibility issues.
I'm not going to argue that point. This is very weird, though. So, if he's not going to listen to even... Oh my god, this person really needs to learn how to write. This is driving me nuts. If he's not willing to listen to the pastor and the pastor's wife, then he has chosen to act like an unbeliever, and now he will be treated as such. The fuck does that mean? Where's your Bible verse to quote that, you piece of shit?
fuck, that escalated quickly. God damn. We're throwing you out of the church because you will not pork your wife. We are throwing you out of the church because we feel you have lost your ability to properly maintain and operate your fuck stick.
You're McDick.
There is Kate. There you go. You're McDick. Go get a McChicken, you impotent fuck. You know what? That is the line I want to hear at a repressed wasp Thanksgiving. Go get a McChicken, you impotent fuck. Yes. This is what I want.
Wow.
This is what I want to hear at some upper fucking waspy ass white fucking June Cleaver fucking dress in red flats fucking Thanksgiving. Go get a McChicken, you impotent fuck. Yes, girl. Yes. And that's exactly what I would say at that table is, yes, girl. Yes. Tell him. I would egg this on.
No kidding. I really want to follow you around for a couple of days. And I feel we make this we start doing like some sort of a reality TV show where you go into these hyper religious repressed households and you just start picking at the small little issues until eventually everybody has had every little vice and gripe brought to the surface, and then at the next big family dinner it just ends in an orgy.
And then we sit there and we pick and pick and pick, and then we throw one huge family dinner. I'm
gonna get in touch with the TV people. Maybe Netflix will want to do this.
They don't even have to be religious. I mean, we all know those stupidly uptight.
They just have to be a big family.
Drunk. Right, not even big. Like, you know those WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant families.
Yep.
Right, where they're like super uppity and super closed off and they just drink their shit away. I say we stockpile a shit ton of fucking whiskey, we get some fucking beers, and we start fucking Family Guy Brian's tripping on acid family fucking meeting. We all remember that one.
That is horrible. Horrifying.
We all remember that one when Meg lost her fucking mind.
Yeah, I do.
I say we nitpick at them until Mom and her fucking dress and heels decides that the fucking turkey's overcooked. And now we're going to start discussing how she was shocked that her husband's little dick had swimmers that could get her pregnant twice.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the fourth and final step.
Oh, there's only 4 for men. Okay.
4 for women. Yeah, I already touched on the fact that, there's 8 to confronting your wife because you can take shit away from her.
Right.
And oh shit, I guess I'm doing spoilers now. So step 4 is divorce your husband for the sin of sexual denial. It starts off reading like this. Unlike a husband who has authority over his wife, a wife does not have authority over her husband. Shocker.
Okay.
So, unlike a husband in the same situation with his wife, a wife cannot stop going out with her husband on dates or stop doing her household duties or following his wishes. Your only option as a wife after confronting him with the church is divorce. Because, how dare she assume any sort of authority over herself?
Did they just say to rape her spouse?
They don't say that.
Force. They just said to force it. So are they advocating raping spouses?
No. The only confronting him in the church, or the only option after confronting him with the church is divorce.
Oh, divorce. I thought I said with force, and I'm like,
oh, that would have been amazing.
Did they just advocate raping somebody?
My pants would be right down around my ankles if that were the ending of this article. As of right now, they're only at my knees.
I didn't hear the div part. I just heard it sounded like force.
That would have been a totally different article.
Did they just tell women to rape their husbands?
So we know where Jen's mind's at.
I was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, holy shit, that's the fucking kicker right there, ladies and gentlemen.
That would have been amazing.
I seriously thought that's what you said. I was like,
I wish I had, actually. That would have been so much cooler. If all else fails, just rape him.
That would have been a much bigger what the fuck than divorce. Because, I mean, usually we all know a couple stops having sex and they stop working on the reasons why they're not having sex, then divorce is just the next logical place that this is going to go.
I mean, could you stop and think about it? Like, she could give him some hardcore sleeping pills, mix it with a Cialis, And then
Are you actually fucking telling women how to rape their spouses right now?
No. I want to say. I feel like that's the answer I should be saying. I feel like I should be saying no,
But and I'm
but
going
I'm
to say
not
this to our
not
listeners right
saying
now.
it.
I don't want to hear this shit. Sex isn't everything. Sex isn't everything. You're right. Fucking sex isn't everything in a marriage. But you know what? It's a damn important fucking part of it. Sex is a big fucking part of intimacy.
And here's the thing. If sex is not a big deal to you and it's not a big deal to your spouse, neither of you express a lot of interest in it,
Then that's cool. That's cool.
then that's totally that area covered. But it's an area that needs to be covered within the relationship.
Right. But I'm saying and I hate to say this, but for a lot of relationships and the majority of relationships, that isn't it. And, at least one partner needs sex to feel connected to their partner.
And it's
normally,
not uncommon.
Usually.
Because assuming that we're all normal people who don't come from the same gene pool as our significant others, we're looking at you, Louisiana and Texas and
looking at
Alabama.
Looking at you, the fucking Kingston clan in Salt Lake City. Yeah, we know about you. Looking at you, the fucking Kingston clan.
Assuming you come from a different gene pool, aside from Saskatchewan, which only has about 3,
Whoa.
You're going to have people who have different needs, and they go through different ebbs and flows.
Right,
but
I mean, you have to look at it at a biological stance too. And it's not just sex, but it's. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Anyway, when you hug somebody, when you cuddle with somebody, when you're affectionate with somebody, when you have sex with someone, your body releases hormones that create a bonding. That create oxytocin. A bond. Is it
science, bitches?
There's a synthetic name for it, and I couldn't think of the name of it, and I didn't want to confuse oxytocin, thinking it was the synthetic name of it, because that's actually what they use in. No. They use the synthetic form of oxytocin for like inducing labors and shit, or to speed up labors. They actually use synthetic oxytocin. But anyway,
because not only does it make you feel close to somebody, it also causes contractions. It's what's released during the female orgasm.
Yes, the release of oxytocin is right. Oxytocin does a lot of shit. It's pretty trippy.
It's amazing.
It's probably my favorite hormone just because of how complex it is and what it does. And it's it's the same hormone that literally creates the most painful fucking experience of a woman's life. Is the same hormone that allows her to bond with her child when the child breastfeeds and does the
because let's face it, if something causes your groin that much pain, you do not want to love it.
Oh, it is not just the groin, dude. Trust me, it is not just the groin.
I'm a male. I'm very ignorant on the subject.
It's not just the groin.
It's a whole body thing. It tires you all out. That's all I really know.
Right. Oh my god. Anyway, but there's a chemical reaction to literally having sex with your spouse that does create a bond. And we kind of just know, yes, sex isn't everything. We get it. Sex isn't everything, but it's a really big part of a lot of relationships. And once the sex goes and nobody's working to get it back, the relationship's over. And I hate to say it.
It honestly isn't wrong. So we're going to wrap up this article here by just going to the final paragraph.
Pitocin. Synthetic oxytocin is called Pitocin. That was it.
Sorry. No.
I'm sorry. It just totally flashed in my head. I'm sorry.
It's one of those things that always happens. So they close this out by referring back to the Exodus verse about, she shall go out free.
The fact that you use Exodus and then like going back to like a trip, that was great. That was awesome.
Well, they in the article go right back to Exodus.
Wait,
they go back to the beginning.
I'm just saying that's great.
Yay! I have no idea what just happened, but that's awesome. So they go back to that verse from Exodus where they say if her husband doesn't meet his duty of marriage, blah, 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 for taking another wife, she shall go out free without money. So under the theocracy of Israel...
Do they elaborate on that?
They do. They say, under the theocracy of Israel, a husband was pressured by male relatives or elders of the town to give his wife a bill of divorce if he was neglecting her in any of these areas. Our government allows women to file this bill of divorce for themselves, and there is no problem with this scripturally as the woman is divorcing her husband on biblical grounds. So there you have it, ladies. If your husband ain't putting out, you can divorce his ass, and it's okay in the church.
Now, I'm wondering, when it says without money, right? Does that mean that your husband, in the Bible, does that mean that the Bible is saying your husband has to reimburse you for your attorney fees?
don't know. I wish it's like we said earlier. It's left intentionally ambiguous.
Because if that's the case, then I had a very biblical divorce.
Oh Jesus, we're not going into it.
No, nobody wants to hear that fucking freak show again.
That about wraps it up for episode 33 of Not Another Atheist Podcast. We want to thank you all for joining us yet again.
Bye. I'm going to bed. Goodbye. I'm weak. I'm tired, and I need Kit Kats. So yeah.
With that, thanks
don't
for
get
joining
married,
us.
people. Don't have children. It's a trap. This is what happens. Oh, this is it.
Good night. Before cutting to the outro tonight, I just wanted to let everybody know that we recently did an interview with friend of the show, Chris the Podunk Polymath, on his Podunk Polymath podcast. Those of you savvy enough to check out our Facebook page will have already been directed to it, but check out episode number 4 of his show as two Americans try to explain exactly what a Hillary Clinton is to their favorite Canadian. If you're among the few who have not checked out our Facebook page, check out the show notes to find links to the episode and more. The Not Another Atheist podcast experience is run by Jen and Keith. If you wish to contact the hosts, please write to nehehp@gmail.com. They can be found at facebook.com/NotAnotherAtheistPodcast or search Not Another Atheist Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play to subscribe and leave reviews. Spoiler alert, big black cock.
Oh my god, speaking of big black cock videos, did you see the heavy...
There is something wrong with you. The guy is literally fucking a McChicken sandwich.
This is the second time I've heard big black cock today.
So anyways, back to the whole McChicken fucker.
They're nothing but whole body raging boners all the time.
Oh, dude, I saw so many dicks. I have a boner right now.
Go get a McChicken, you impotent fuck!
God damn it, masturbation just got really fucking expensive.
But the gays can't marry, because it's immoral.
I'm picking up my panties and I'm going home, okay?